Hey guys, Aviation100 here, and thanks for tuning in for today's video. I just put a quick video together on how to flare an aircraft and different types of aircraft, and if the flare is different or not, and just to show you on how to do it right. So hope you enjoy. First of all, what is the flare? Well, in an aircraft, before it touches down, it flares, so it reduces the lift of the aircraft for a smoother touchdown. But first, you have to take into account a couple of things: your speed, your weight of the aircraft, the wind, and the weather. I've got fair weather, and you've got to make sure, like in the Boeing 747 on low fuel for landing, a speed around 140 will be ideal. And you've also got to make sure your descent rate is, hopefully try not to get it more than 1000 for approach. So you take into account that, and you should be good for the approach. As you approach 20 feet off the runway, you want to reduce the throttles to idle. Throttles to idle, and then you flare just a bit. Not too high, just so the aircraft can gracefully touch the ground. And now you've done a nice smooth landing with a little flare. And with a flare, try not to make it more than 10 degrees of pitch up. Now I'm going to show you guys is how high speed landing can be bad for the flare and also for the approach. Some people say that coming in fast will make a landing smoother, but it will complicate. When you're coming in too fast for landing, your flare won't be as much, and it'll be hard. You have to pitch down a lot. As you can see, it will be obvious that will be gliding down the runway a lot more. But yes, the landing will be smoother, but you'll be running out of runway, and it's not good for the aircraft on landing. So I would suggest to keep the speed at 140. Now I'm going to show you how a slow speed on approach can be bad for the flare and also for the approach. And also a slow approach is dangerous as well. There's also the chance of stalling. You see I'm at 123 knots, and this is very dangerous. And also complicated. See, I'm pitched up very high due to my low speed, and as I flare, I'm pretty much on a flare and approach, which is not right. And lower speed, as you can see, as I flare a bit more so I can reduce the lift, very close to a tail strike, which is also lethal. So try and keep speed high. Now I'm going to show you how to flare right in a prop aircraft, which is a bit different to the jet aircraft. As it comes to prop aircraft, it's a little different. First of all, the controls are a lot more touchy or responsive, so the flare has to be more gradual and light and smooth. For a Cessna 162 that I'm in now, a good speed is about 60, just under, or maybe just a bit over. Of course, you've got to be on the glide slope for a nice, easy approach and a nice descent. When it comes to flare in the Cessna 172, like I said, it has to be very smooth and gradual. So just a little nudge up on the joystick will do the trick for this small prop aircraft. That's the same for any other aircraft. As I'm approaching the runway, you do want to put the throttles idle and flare the slightest bit, as you can see in here. So I just flared a little bit here, just so it touches down. Yes, I admit it wasn't the best landing, but just to show you. Now I'm going to show you that the error that a lot of people make from going in from a jet aircraft straight to a prop aircraft if they're not used to flying a prop aircraft. This happens a lot for people that are used to flying jet aircraft and coming to a prop aircraft for flaring. As the controls are more responsive and the flare has to be more light than the jet aircraft, this is what happens a lot. You approach the runway, they flare, but too much, and this is what happens. They flare up, they climb again, they try and push down and try and pull up again to make the landing smooth. They pull up and the circle goes on until you touch down or stall like it did there. So make sure your controls are smooth for a prop. So let's just go over all the things I said, because I didn't say it all clearly. For a jet aircraft, so let's say for the default aircraft for the Boeing 737, the Boeing 747, a good speed and choice to check the wind is vital for to get a good flare. 747 speed about 150 and a 737 speed about 140, or just a little bit lower. As you approach about 20, in between 10 or 20 feet off the runway, you reduce your power to idle, which is 0 degrees of thrust. And when you approach 10 or less, flare the aircraft no more than 10, which you shouldn't really need to. No more than 10 degrees up to about a descent rate of like maybe minus 500 or lower for a nice, decent, smooth, solid touchdown. When it comes to prop aircraft, the controls are much more responsive, so it has to be more of a smooth nudge with the joystick, unlike the jet aircraft. Same principles. Pull the throttle idle a bit later than normal, and then just flare at the very last minute with a little nudge of the air of the controls, just so to push the nose up that slightly, just so the main gear touches down first. Hope you enjoyed this little tutorial or how-to video for the flare. Hope you comment and rate, and if you have any questions or anything you didn't understand, let me know below in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys later on.